Up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 106. And I gotta say, the beginning of the chapter definitely hit me with some serious nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like, Naruto's got like the flashbacks and everything where you get a whole fucking chapter of flashbacks, right? And in that brief period, I felt like I was in a Naruto genjutsu and I was remembering the time I was in Florida, right? And I used to live in Florida for a very brief period. And the thing is 1 minute, you know, it'll be sun shining and then you'll get this random downpour and then it'll be shining again, right? And I remember the first time I was down there, the humidity fucking killed me, right? And I was just like, oh my God. And the reason why it hit me with like the nostalgia, because for me, it was like a slap in the face. It was like a big culture change, you know what I mean? Like, I was a little further north than like Florida, so the humidity just really hit me, you know what I mean? And I say that to say this, like, Luffy and them, they were not expecting to be caught in fucking winter. And so when you see how everything starts out when the snow's kind of falling and somebody's saying achoo, and you see Nami and she's got the earmuffs on and she's getting at Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine about not shoveling snow, and then you got Sanji like, Nami, my love, how much snow should I shovel for you? Nami's just like, until it all goes away, until it stops snowing. And it's just like, Sanji, dog, she's playing you for a sucker right now, and you don't even realize it. Like, I'm loving this. Like, I had a feeling that, like, Luffy's little band of misfits, like, that I had a feeling it would work because the personality is just all over the place. So I was really excited to just read that. And sure enough, I got what I wanted. You know, I know some of you guys told me that Usopp and Luffy would, you know, have little moments of comedy when they're on the ship. And I've been waiting, and I finally get it. So they're building Snowman, right? And Luffy builds this snowman. It looks normal, right? It looks like a regular, normal snowman. But at the same time, though, like, Usopp's just like, you call that a snowman? And Usopp, I want to touch on this, too. Usopp builds a snow woman. And he kind of, there's no kind of, he does put down Luffy's snowman. But right here, he says, behold, my soulful masterpiece, the Snow Queen. And if you look, he builds a woman. I'm going to get back to that in a second. But just right there, Usopp is just completely just struck because Luffy's using the snowman punch, and it's just like only Luffy would think to have a fight with Snowman. And even Nami asks, like, hey, how can they have all that energy? How can they be so frantic like that in the cold? And, you know, Usopp's firing back with his snowman. That's pretty damn funny, man. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, here's the scene with, you know, Sanji, like, how long should I keep snuggling this snow, my love? And Nami says, until it stops, Sanji. Yes, milady. Like, he is sprung. Like, he's absolutely sprung. But now I want to go back to something, though, right? This is what I want to go back to. So I'm looking at Usopp, and I'm looking at that Snow Queen that he makes, okay? And it really reminds me, just from the hair to the way that she's dressed, it reminds me of Kaya. And that's very interesting to me, and it's for two reasons. You know, like, I'm gonna take this review someplace that I would normally reserve for my Hey Hey's channel, but I'm gonna take it here just because it fits the story. You know, as you guys have seen, like, I'll throw some memes, and I apologize for the Deadpool. You know, some of you guys thought it was funny, and I got a lot of messages that I kind of went overboard with that one, so I apologize. But the thing is, it's like, I saw that and I just thought it was an interesting choice of words because, I don't know, maybe it's because I just watched Tommy Sotomayor video, and, you know, he uses that term in a derogatory and sometimes an uplifting way, depends on what the video is. But use, you know, the Snow Queen thing, and you got Kaya and you got Usopp, and I thought that was just very interesting that Usopp builds a fucking Snow Queen. And you have Kaya, and they're obviously of different backgrounds. Like, one's got fair skin, one's got darker skin. And I was just like, what the fuck is Oda doing right there? Not in a bad way, but, you know, just for me, because I thought it was cool. Because, you know, One Piece, one of the reasons why I really love it is everyone is of a different, like, if One Piece was in the real world, I really feel like out of all the mangas, One Piece is one that definitely represents what our world is now. There's somebody from every culture. So I really, really love that. Like, I really love that Oda has that bit of diversity in it. And it's not PC either. Like, when he plays up stereotypes, he plays them up, and it's cool because it's done in a very tasteful way. Now I'm going to get off my soapbox. Like I said, this is not the channel for that type of stuff, so I'm not going to, you know, harbor and stay on this much longer. But I will say this, just the constant changing of the weather, it was a really good anchor. And what I mean by an anchor is a lot of times when you write, you need something to kind of center, ground your story, if you will, or in this case, a chapter. And to have the weather almost be an antagonist in itself, in a way, the weather is a character, a very schizophrenic, bipolar-ass character on top of that. You know, it's like that, the weather is like Deadpool in the comics where he's got different voices in his head, or I'm trying to think of another one that's schizophrenic. I can't right now off the top of my head. But the thing is like the weather goes from really cold to where you have fog to where you have icebergs. And they're all just like freaking out because like Nami finally figures out like I need to be looking at the log. And it's after Miss Wednesday insults her and she's like, you can't go off of your regular skills. And Sanji even reinforces that. He's not talking to her later in the chapter, but he's telling Usopp when they're approaching Whiskey Island that there might be monsters there because this is the Grand Line. And I really think that this was a very smart time to put this in here after that little brief Laboon and Crocus, you know, little mini arc. So I really felt like this was needed in order to give us a really great idea how wacky the Grand Line is, because it was very brief that we got the reverse mountain part. So just seeing this was really, really nice right here. And again, I really like how Oda is taking time after doing a lot of broad brushstrokes to pay attention to the small things to further fill in the center of, you know, this One Piece painting, if you will. So I really enjoy this. Like, I can really tell that he helped on Rurouni Kenshin, because the world building in Kenshin, I see similarities in this, different eras, different, you know, story and characters, but writing style, I see some similarities. So I really, really love that aspect of it. But the other thing that I thought was very cool was to see how quickly Nami took charge, and she's telling everyone orders, and at the same time, I loved how she just flipped the switch and, you know, knocked Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine like on their ass. You know, she kicked the table that they were sitting at, and, you know, later on in the chapter, she's knocking Zoro on the head. I mean, I really liked it. I liked how she could just flip the switch, go from serious to being a source of comedic relief. So that was really, really cool to see that. But the other thing is just how quickly she adjusted. That was very impressive, because they could have just as easily turned into the Titanic. And if it would have turned into the Titanic, I'm pretty fucking sure that Sanji would have got his Leonardo DiCaprio on. And that's some cold-blooded shit too, girl. I could see Nami like, Sanji, my love, I'm on this mirror. I need you to turn into a fucking popsicle. Goodbye, my love. And then right before he floats off, Nami takes his fucking wallet out or something. I could so see that shit happening, man. That's why I fuck with her. But yo, let me get back on the topic, man. I don't want to bash Titanic too much. But the other thing that I really, really enjoyed about this chapter was the fact that when Zoro finally wakes up after sleeping through grazing an iceberg, mist, snowing, everything. This dude sleeps through everything, right? I really enjoyed how when he wakes up, he's like, shouldn't you guys be getting to work? And then we see Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine. He's interrogating them. He's just like, oh, sorry about that. He's like, I think I know something about you guys. What were your names? And right there, he's like, I'm pretty sure I know who you are, because he's saying, that's right, they've been stuck in my head. Seems like I've heard them somewhere before. Or maybe not. And it just looks like he's trolling, you know? And I just love that. Like I said, like the comedy in this chapter, how it's just sprinkled in, it's hilarious. And right there, you see Nami just bopping him on the head. And if looks could kill, I love like the little facial features because, you know, Nami, like I said, she's, you know, got that look like she's pissed, but Zoro, the eyes are just blacked out, and you see the veins popping out. Before he can pop off, Nami whacks him again. I mean, this was good. This was good. I enjoyed this. Like Nami is really reminding me of Sakura. The only difference is Sakura and Kaoru, both of them. But the only difference is you know, she's more than pulling her weight to the crew. You know, Sakura, you know, I've done a video on Sakura before on whether or not she should have mastered Genjutsu. I really feel like Sakura's character was mishandled in Naruto. But then again, a lot of, like Tite Kubo, a lot of secondary characters in those series, they're thrown away. The character development leaves a lot to be desired. In One Piece, Oda is constantly adding a layer to everyone, and that's one of the things that's really keeping me to continue to read One Piece and to read it as quickly as I have. You know, because like with the two series I mentioned before that, Naruto and Bleach, I was fortunate enough to get into Naruto when it was still early on. I believe that Naruto was on its 5th volume when I finally, yeah, it was on the 5th volume because I remember I read it really, really quick. But Naruto was in its 5th volume, so I was able to follow it from that point on. And then with Bleach, I got into it late and I just, you know, binge watched a lot of the anime and said, oh shit, I don't think this bound arc is actually canon. Oh, it's filler. And I started reading the manga. But the thing on that is I saw a lot of characters put on the wayside. And Oda, he's just, everyone's being developed at the same time. Very beautiful, and it says a lot about him as a writer because it is so easy to forget characters, especially when you have these huge worlds. So this was very impressive. But you know, getting into the chapter though, I thought that this was very telling because after they make it to Whiskey Island and they got the you know, it's got all these cactuses, but right here they're saying we'll be taking our leave now. Thanks for the ride, darlings, and we'll see you again, fate willing. They leave the door open for a possible return, and this is after, well, Whisky Peak, excuse me, I kept saying Whiskey Island, but that leaves the door open for a possible return, and that's after Zoro tells Luffy, like, look, man, you don't owe them anything, and just look at these faces. They're up to something. I don't know what, but they're definitely going to be reoccurring in this, I guess, this little mini arc inside of this arc. They're definitely going to be reoccurring. So this is going to be very interesting. And then just the reaction of these people that are on Whisky Peak, how excited they are because they're pirates. I don't know if they're working with these people or what, but, and the Grand Line is so messed up, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't some type of monsters themselves, similar to that fairy tale arc where the people were actually demons. So I'm not sure what to expect with this. I just know that Luffy and Usopp and Sanji, they're all just fucking hype because Sanji's like, yo, there's so many beautiful women. And he's like, I don't blame him, man. I go into a new city and that's the first thing I look at. I'm like, yo, they look so beautiful. And then I have to get cleaned up and I have to put on my good shit and I have to go to the bar, I have to go to the club, I have to see the downtown, I have to do everything because I have to play shit. So I get you, Sanjay. He's sugar wall hunting. You know, you don't know what sugar walls are? Let me tell you something, right? You know, that's when Hodge twins be like, hey, Kevin, hey, Keith. And they be, you know, hey, yo, you got to check out the Hodge twins, man. And I can't do them country-ass voices, but, yo, look, man, he's sugar wall hunting. And I don't blame him, though. Because they look good, you know? Look at this shit, man. Like, Sanji, he just got love in his eyes. And he's like, shit, Nami, what Nami? But right there, you got a woman, a nun, and it's got a kid with a fucking knife. I don't know what's going on, but I know Sanji better watch it, man. He's going to get jammed up, right? And one of them going to Lorena Bob at his ass. And end up like O.J. Simpson where, like, they, like, bury the knife and can't find it. And, like, out of line, I'm gonna stop. But overall, man, really enjoyed this chapter. It was pretty fucking wacky, but I enjoyed it. So my chapter question for you guys, it's going to be two. One, what did you think when you saw the reaction of people at Whisky Peak? And then two, what were your thoughts on how crazy the weather was? But guys, that's it for this review. If you liked anything I had to say, as always, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I'll greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and share, guys. But that's it. Thanks for watching Kryptonian Saying. Have an awesome day.